Elite Dangerous in 2023 is an interesting beast, with Odyssey 2 years behind us, console cancellation, and legacy mode for PC sectioned off, pushing for Odyssey-style homogeny, and a big Targoid war at humanity's doorstep. Overall, there are mixed feelings about the game all round. And the one question both returning players and new ones might be asking, well, is it worth playing it today? Alright then, first let's start with a refresher. Elite Dangerous, like any British product left alone for a while, always ends up beaten in a ditch in Ireland. And all that just because the game finally received some space legs. And one could say players were just itching to run away when given the chance. Instead of much hyped and awaited ability to walk around your own ship with your character, we got bad performance, utter lack of content, and a company that didn't seem to give a fuck. Soon after, console release was delayed, then delayed again, and finally cancelled outright. And of course, all of this I covered in great detail in my hypercritical reviews and more. There's also now the legacy mode on PC where the old non-Odyssey graphics and a separate save of your character is stored. It's a mess to be sure, and I don't need to go into Steam charts to tell you that it's not been, as the British would say, great in the past little while. However, a spark of genuine hope was brought back into Elite with the Targoid War and the major narrative events taking place a few months back. A really cool, interesting and mysterious explosion on a planet and aliens everywhere. It seemed that with a bare bones dev team, these people managed to do more for the game than the staff of hundreds strong for the last 5 years. So, maybe, finally it's time to come and shoot those pesky aliens in the face! Well, I do want to present both sides as equally as I can, that you can choose for yourself. So, let's then begin. Well, how about we start with the two reasons why most people seem to be leaving Elite Dangerous. The console cancellation, which is absolutely fair. And that Odyssey is steamier than a freshly laid dog shit, which also is fair. But let me just ask, does the existence of Odyssey ruin the core experience? Now I know, applying death of the author is an idiot's gambit. No matter how hard you try, you can't ignore what the creator does even post-release. Or what the latest entry does to the whole franchise. I mean, just like Game of Thrones TV series, the ending ruins the fun of the journey. But let's suspend disbelief for a little bit. If you're new or returning to the game, the core principles of Elite haven't changed. I mean, that might be for the better or worse, but in this instance, the same incredible immersion is still just as prevalent. The same feeling of piloting a spaceship, managing its systems, and depthful mechanics for all gameplay types like exploration, trading, combat, mining, piracy, or if you've lost your mind, are all still there and just as capable. And then there's the VR for those with privileged goggles. And it's, no lie, still one of the best VR games out there. Sure, it's just a seated experience, but when it's bolted to a space sim, well, what can I say? It's pretty immersive. And that's kind of the thing. All of this can be experienced without buying Odyssey. And frankly, fuck that garbage. You can have genuinely this gaming experience without it. And don't listen to anyone who says that you do, which is bullshit. I've said this time and time again that the good aspects of piloting the ship, managing the systems, and the open world are the most immersive things out there, and they're still there. Now, recently I myself been doing spaceship combat stuff on streams, and boy, it's nice to be back on the dead horse. I still regard Elite having one of the best space combat mechanics, even compared to dedicated spaceship combat games. Sure, it's not easy to learn, but boy, it's just that good. Now with the Targoid War on top, it's a fantastic time to brush up on your space pew-pew skills. So when it comes to trying out the game, fuck Odyssey, the core Elite is worth it, especially on sale. However, that brings us face to face with the ugly truths of the matter. The grind. Elite Dangerous Day 1 was and still is a live service game, and along with that comes genuinely mind-numbing repetition of simple, unchallenging gameplay for the progressing throughout the game. The grind for the credits, though not as bad as it was back in the day, still is something that you see the game pushing you to do constantly. Not to mention engineering, at which point you might as well go learn a new hobby. As long as you try to avoid or put off doing the grind and change up your gameplay from now and again, you will enjoy it, but that's kinda the thing. Even the self-proclaimed space Chad dads who say that they don't feel the grind, well, all of them are lying. There is no escaping the fact that the game is built to be a massive time sink. Pair that with quite a steep learning curve and the third-party tool requirements, it's got the massive design flaws that haven't really been addressed over the years. So then, maybe for those returning players, those who want to return but well, maybe are holding off for some new content or experiences, well, what can you expect? Well, developers last year did state that the Targoid narrative is moving on, and that is true. New minor Targoid combat-related ship modules have been released, like the module that allows you to equip up to 2 extra AX weapons on your ship. And then we also have the caustic-resistant sensors and shields coming in the game files. But it's all Targoid related, so if you're not into that, well, what else? Well, that's all the information the developers have really shared with us. I mean, really, I'd like to say more, but I mean, that's all that they left us with. So, penis! Oh wait, I almost forgot about it, and I think developers also want us to forget about it too. Last year they did mention some kind of one key feature overhaul. Today though, no mentions on official streams or anywhere, yet it's already March. At this point I got to start wondering if they even plan to actually do this one key feature overhaul at all. Well, whatever comes, the bottom line I want to emphasize today is that the core experience of Elite has not changed, and it's still incredibly immersive. You don't need, in fact I advise against buying Odyssey to this day. But if you want to put that hard-earned money somewhere that actually works, well, maybe check out my Patreon there. But let me be a bit biased here and say, yes, it's certainly worth loading up or picking up the game for the first time and screwing around for a while. That is until you hit the age-old brick wall called the grind.